long-lasting base makeup routine with proof of how it wore. I did already prep my skin using these products, so we can jump right into the makeup because I also don't have a lot of time. For primer, I'm using my all-time favorite, which is the Maybelline Grippy Serum. It feels lightweight on the skin and also adds a little extra hydration. It's also going to help our makeup stick without being overly tacky to where it disrupts the formula. Now, my skin is more on the normal side, but I do sometimes get oily on my nose. So I'm going to take this Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Matte Primer just to the areas that I feel get oily. And for foundation, we are going to want something very long lasting. Huda Easy Blur one is definitely on the long lasting side. I'm going to take it to the back of my hand and pick it up with a brush and then go in and start blending it out on the face. This just kind of helps warm the product up. This foundation has a very nice coverage, but the finish is still really nice and airbrushed. For concealer, I'm using Natasha Denona, more of a medium coverage and a serum-like finish. So it feels very lightweight under the eyes, and it's also hydrating. As someone with a dry under eye, that is important. To warm up my skin, I'm using Milani Cream Bronzer. This might be one of the best cream bronzers at the drugstore. So easy to blend, melts right into the base makeup. I'm going to do a little bit of contouring with the Morphe contour stick, following that natural shadow a bit on the tip of my nose. For cream blush, I'm going to take the new Morphe limited edition Shake Thrills in the shade Yacht Day. Try to stay like in this area. Let's blend out this concealer. It's been sitting for a while. That's the one thing I love about using hydrating concealers, and the finish is just even better. Almost forgot about this. Take my foundation brush and kind of go over this blush right here. I feel like I did take it in a little too much. I feel like sometimes doing your makeup is just knowing how to fix your mistakes. So if I feel like I overdid it with the blush or the bronzer, I'll always go back in with that foundation brush, whatever's left over. Lately, I have been loving to mix a little bit of like a cooler pink blush to my warm blush, just to bring that cool tone in without it being all over the cheek and kind of washing out my skin. I like to apply the cooler baby pink shade higher up right here. It just adds that little touch of baby pink. And then I'll take whatever is left over on the brush to my nose. Now let's start setting with powder. For the under eye, I'm going to first go in with a pressed powder and using like a little packing brush like this. Also make sure to blend out any creasing that might have happened while you're applying your other products before you set, because we do not want to set those creases. Then with that brush and powder, I am going to set directly under the eye to prevent any creasing. Now we're going to go in with a loose powder. Make sure to tap it out on the back of your hand like this so we can make sure we're getting an even application. Tap that under the eye to set the rest of that concealer. I'm not really packing it directly under the eye since we just set with that pressed powder. I'm also going to set my nose with this and the center of my forehead. To set the rest of my skin, I'm taking the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop pressed powder. Just taking this lightly around the rest of my face. I'm going to touch up the bronzer around my nose a little bit, right here where it connects to my eyebrow. And for powder blush, I'm mixing these from my Huda Beauty palette. I always like to do a cream blush and touch it up with a powder blush after I set, just because it helps last longer. Instead of highlight, I'm taking this little blush topper just to the highest point of my cheekbone. I'm going to bake in this area just a little bit. And instead of like dusting it all off, I'm kind of pressing it into the skin. And lastly is setting spray, which is very important that you find one that is actually meant to make your makeup last longer. We should be set now. Lastly, the Keto A Long Lasting Lip Combo is a lip stain under. This one's a Sephora brand. Mix it with a little bit of this NYX one. And I still add a little bit of lip liner on top. And I prefer a glossy lip. This is now my completed base makeup, so I will be back and check in with y'all. So I will see y'all later on tonight. It's now about 7 hours later and I'm back home. Lip liner stain definitely stayed on. This is how the rest of the base makeup is looking. Wore nicely, and my blush definitely stayed on, so it did not fade. So those are the products that I'm using when I want a long lasting base routine. Bye guys, I hope y'all found this video helpful.